Assalaamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again to our Ramadaan Tajweedul Qur'aan, and this will be our final lesson for this Ramadan, inshallah. Our topic today is called Ahkaamul Mudood, and the first mad that we're gonna study here is called Al-Maddul Munfasil. Al-Maddul Munfasil. So Al-Mudud refers to prolongation or lengthening the sound. So the first mad is Al-Maddul Munfasil. So when do we apply Al-Maddul Munfasil? It happens when Hamza comes after any of the letters of Mad. The letters of Mad, they are Alif, Waw, and Ya. So whenever Hamza appears after Alif, Waw, or Ya, pronounce the Mad 2 to 4 times its original length. Or we stretch the Mad 2 to 4 times its original length. In the example, we have here Alif, and it comes after Alif, which is a letter of Mad. And we said that we have to prolong this Mad, which is Alif, 2 to 4 times its original length. Yeah? So we say inna, or we could say inna awhayna ilayk. Here's the same example. We have Hamza or Alif coming after Alif, which is a letter of Mad. We pronounce it, or we pronounce the sound or the Mad sound 2 to 4 times its original length. So we can say inna awhayna ilayk, or we can say inna awhayna ilayk. Okay? So let's see when Hamza comes after Waw. Okay? Here we have Waw, and here we have Hamza. And we recite this as قالوا إنا معكم, or we can say قالوا إنا معكم 2 to 4 times its original length. Now in this example, we can see an Alif written there. So we may want to say that Alif comes after Alif. It's just like the first one. But in this word, قالوا, as we learned before in Shamsiya, Ahkaamul Shamsiya and Qamariya, sometimes there will be letters written but not pronounced. So this Alif is written there. It's not pronounced. It's just for writing's sake. So it is like it's not there. So basically, the Hamza is coming after the Waw. The Waw, which has the value in this ayah. The Alif doesn't have the value in this ayah. It has a written value, not a recitation value. So the one that has got the recitation value is the Waw. So Hamza coming after the Waw. So we say either قالوا إنا معكم, or we say قالوا إنا معكم. Now let's see when Hamza comes after Ya. So here we have Hamza. It's supposed to have a kasra here. We have Hamza coming after Ya. So the ayah can either be recited as irji'i ila rabbik. Or we can say irji'i ila rabbik. So al-mad al-munfasil is when hamza comes after any of the letters of mad, alif, waw, or ya. In that case, we have to prolong the mad sound to 4 times its original length, as inna awhayna ilayk, or inna awhayna ilayk. Or we say qalu inna ma'akum, or qalu inna ma'akum. This one we could say irji'i ila rabbik, or irji'i ila rabbik. And that is all we have for al-maddul munfasil. The next mad is called al-maddul muttasil. Al-maddul muttasil. Okay? And al-maddul muttasil happens when hamza, now we're dealing with hamza, when hamza comes after any of the letters of mad. The letters of mad, they are alif, waw, and ya. Here, when hamza appears after any of the letters of mad, while being in the same word, this is very important. Yeah? While being in the same word, we pronounce the mad sound, or we stretch the mad 6 times its original length. The hamza has to come after alif, waw, or ya, and it has to be in the same word, not 2 words, same words. Then we pronounce it 6 times its original length. Yeah? So here we have hamza. It comes after alif, and it is in the same word. Yeah? Here we have to prolong the sound, the mad sound, 6 times its original length. So we say sawa'un alayhim. Sawa'un alayhim. Alright? So here we have hamza coming after waw. And they are in the same word. Hamza, after waw, we prolong the sound. We prolong the sound 6 times its original length. So we say thalathata quru. Thalathata quru. Alright? Now let's see when hamza comes after ya, and they are in the same word. Hamza after ya. So this goes waji'a yawma'idhin. Waji'a yawma'idhin. So al-maddul muttasil is when hamza comes after any of the letters of mad while being in the same word. This is important. Pronounce the mad sound or prolong the mad sound 6 times its original length. Okay? The next mad that we're gonna look at is called al-maddul lazim. Al-maddul lazim. Yeah? Al-maddul lazim happens when sukoon comes after any of the letters of mad prolong or pronounce the mad sound 6 times its original length. The one we did just now is when Hamza comes after any of the letters of mad while being in the same word. Here we have in when sukoon, yeah, when sukoon comes after any of the letters of mad, we do the same thing, we pronounce it or prolong the sound 6 times its original length. So if we look at the example, we have this lam here, but the lam got sukoon. So that's when sukoon appears after the letters of mad, which we have alif there. Yeah, we have to stretch the sound 6 times its original length. So we say al-ana. Yeah, because Hamza got fatha and lam got sukoon, we have to say al. But before we join that al, we have to stretch the mad, which is alif, 6 times. So we say al-ana. We don't say al-ana. No. We don't say al-ana. We don't say al-ana. We say al-ana. We stretch the hamza with the fatha 6 times, then we join, then we continue. Alright? Here, in this example, in the Quran, you will see this example. In the Quran, we will see this example. Yeah? The jim with a shadda, or a letter with a shadda, coming after alif here. Or another letter here, noon with a shadda, coming after waw. And alif is alif al-mad, which is the letter of mad, and waw is the letter of mad. But they have shadda, and they belong to this example, mad al-lazim. But in our explanation, we say when it comes after sukoon and not shadda. So what happened there? Originally, this word has a hidden, any letter that has a shadda on them has a hidden sukoon inside. So if we were to break this word down, it would have been written this way. Ha here is this ha. The jim with the shadda has a hidden sukoon inside, so it would have been hajj. This is the hidden sukoon. Hajj, and then the Jew. Because if we say here, if we recite here, we will say hajj, which is joining hajj, like it joined onto one jim, and then the next jim, we recite it with a dhamma, which is Jew. Hajj, Jew. Yeah? So here it's written Hajj, Jew. And then here, if we join the jim onto the noon, it would join onto the hidden noon with the sukoon, which would be June. June. And the next noon will be recited with the kasra and will be ni. So it would be June ni. So here we have June ni. So here we will see shadda, but the rule says sukoon. So when you reverse it back into spelling, we can see the sukoon now. So we have the sukoon coming after alif, which is alif here. We have to prolong the sound 6 times its original length. So we say qala atuhajjuni. Here it's the same. قال أتحاجوني. Okay, I hope that is clear. In the next example, we have Hamim. And in the Quran, they have numerous surahs start with letters like Alif Lam Mim, and we have Hamim. So when we write Hamim in spelling, we will see the meme ends with the sukoon. Hamim. Yeah, and this sukoon here is also what we study in another rule. It's not the original sukoon. This Hamim doesn't have a original sukoon. It has the matan, so, but we are stopping on it, so we have to put the sukoon on it. Yeah, so because we're stopping, we have to put a sukoon on it. So it falls onto this madul lazim when sukoon comes after the letters of mad, and one of the letters of mad is ya. Yeah, so we see meme is a sukoon coming after ya, so we have to prolong the sound 6 times its original length. So we say hamim. Yeah. So in this mud, it's a little bit complicated. The first example is clear. Whenever whenever sukoon comes after any of the letters of mad, we prolong the sound 6 times its original length. We have lam with sukoon here coming after alif, which is the letter of mad, and we recite it 6 times. So we say al. Here, this one we will see in the ayah where we have a letter with shadda coming after alif or waw. Alif or waw. We prolong the sound 6 times because we said that any letter that have a shadda on it, any letter's got a shadda on it, there is a hidden sukoon inside, as in the example here. 2 jim. Jim got shadda, so it's equal to 2 jim. Noon has got shadda, so it's equal to 2 noons. So the first one got shadda, the second one got the original vowel. Yeah? And we say, Qala atuhajjuni. Okay? And here we say, because we're stopping on the hamim, the meme originally have a dammatan, and because we're stopping, we have to change that dammatan into a sukoon. So the sukoon coming after a ya, which is a letter of mad, so we have to prolong the sound 6 times its original length. So we say hamim. Okay? And that is all we have for al-maddul lazim. We move on to our next mad, which is called al-maddul a'arid. Al-maddul a'arid, this happens when a reciter is stopping on any of the letters of the alphabet. Any of the letter of the alphabet which comes after any of the letters of mad. Its duration is 2 to 6 times its original length. Here the reciter is reciting, and he or she comes at the end of the ayah or the end of the word, and they're stopping. Yeah? If the letter that they're stopping on comes after alif, waw, or ya, then they can stretch or prolong the mad sound 2 to 6 times its original length. Yeah. For example, here Malikin Nas. So we're gonna stop on any letter which is Sin. And here Sin comes after Alif, which is a letter of mad. We can prolong this mad sound 2 times to 6 times. So we can say Malikin Nas, Malikin Nas, or we can say Malikin Nas. Yeah, or we can go into 4 times. We could say Malikin Nas. So 2 to 6 times is either 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, up to 6 times. Okay. Now you might find many of the reciters go up to 2 to 3 times roughly, and it all depends upon the speed of the reciter at that time. Yeah. So if we say 2 times, it would go Malikin Nas. If we go 3 times, we may say Malikin Nas, and so on and so on. Here, the reciter is going to stop on any letter, which we have here noon, and the noon comes after a letter of mad, which is wow. And we have to stretch that mad sound 2 to 6 times. So we say wala yastathnun, wala yastathnun, or wala yastathnun, 2 to 6 times. And the last one here, any letter, here again we have noon, and it comes after ya. So we stretch it 2 to 6 times, and the ayah goes فَتَنَادَوْا مُصْبِحِينَ فَتَنَادَوْا مُصْبِحِينَ. And this rule is, this math is very, very simple, and it's one of the easiest ones, because in the Quran, most of the ayah, or 99.9% of the ayah, or let's say 99% of the ayah, they're ended with any letter coming after alif, waw, or noon. Arya, the letters of mad. 90%, for example. Yeah, if you open your Quran, you would see at the end, the last word, you're gonna see it. The second to last letter will either be alif, waw, or ya. It doesn't matter what letter comes at the end. The second to last letter would either be alif, waw, or ya. Numerous ayah, and the rest of them goes with different rulings. The last one, the last mad, what we're gonna look at is called al-madd al-iwad. Al-madd al-iwad. This happens when a reciter is stopping. The reciter is stopping again on any letter of the alphabet which has fathatan. Yeah. Its duration is 2 times its original length. 2 times its original length. So if we look at the ayah, we will see the last letter here is qaf, and qaf has fathatan. Now the alif there is not the last letter. Yeah, the alif there is not the last letter. If I can take you back in history, when we were learning Qaida, and we were on the topic fathatan, you will see in fathatan there is an alif written after every letter. If you have a Qaida, open your Qaida and look at fathatan, and you will see an alif is written after all the letters of fathatan, except for alif itself. Yeah, alif is going to be written just like this. Or if you have hamza, it's going to be written just like that. But the rest of the letters, they have an alif in front of them. The alif is an original alif. It's an alif that is written, but it's not pronounced. Yeah, it's written, but it's not pronounced. So, because it's not pronounced, that makes us, the last letter here is qaf. And this example here, the last letter here is sheen, and here the last letter is fa. So we say that if the reciter is stopping on any letter of the alphabet which has fathatan, yeah, its duration is 2 times its original length. So originally this ayah is وَكَأْسًا dihaqan. But because we're stopping on the qaf there, we say وَقَأْسًا دِهَاقًا. دِهَاقًا. Okay? Here we say وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. مَعَاشًا. Okay? وَجَنَّاتٍ أَلْفَافًا. Okay, alfa-fa. Rather than saying alfa-fan, we say alfa-fa. That's because we are stopping. If we're not stopping, then we're gonna recite wajannatin alfa-fan and continue with the next ayah that comes after. So al-madul irwan happens when the reciter is stopping on any letter of the alphabet which has a fathatan. Its duration is 2 times its original length. وَكَأْسًا دِهَاقًا وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا وَجَنَّاتٍ أَلْفَافًا. And that brings us to the end of our lesson Ahkaamul Mudood. And also, it brings us to the end of our Ramadan Tajweedul Qur'aan program. And I hope and pray, inshallah, that we all benefit from these videos and these lessons. And if you have benefited from it, please try to teach it to your community and post it on your contacts so other people can benefit from it. And I hope again, inshallah, that Allah accepts all of our hard work and our ibadat, our fast, our salah, our charity, our azkar, and all our khairat that we did for Allah in this month. And again, I hope that Allah gave us the iman to continue worshipping Him as we have worshipped Him in Ramadan. We continue to worship Him throughout our life. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.